Hey, Feeny.
Hey, Pipalik.
This is the Pipalik and Serafina podcast. Are you listening?
Well, I am. Are you?
I'm listening. I want to share something with you.
All right.
Okay, this is about, because we're at the end of March, and one of the big things that I feel a lot of us struggle with, that I struggle with also, even though I lie to myself about it sometimes, is how to have fun and having more fun. And essentially, one way to look at it is allowing yourself to be a fool.
I love this. I love this topic. I was actually talking to my boyfriend yesterday about how we need to, because life feels kind of heavy now. There's so much SHIT going on. We can get caught up in all this stuff that's negative that's happening in life and where we want things to change and be better. But I think it would be so good just to have more fun and to relax a little every once in a while and to give yourself permission to have fun and act a fool.
Yes. You have to have fun.
You have to have fun. And the fool card is it's like such a statement card in Oracle, in tarot decks.
Yes, yeah, because it's the falling off a cliff. It's being okay to like flounder and fail and look like an idiot at court with the whole king's court watching. Because I mean, the fool back in the day, right, was often seen at courts of royalty and nobility. And they would act a fool, but that means they got closer to a truth than any other people did. So I want to share a story. Mm-hmm. It's
Ready?
Somewhere in the blog. And I remember, so I studied graphic design at a prestigious academy for a bit. And we had to give each other, the walls were gray, by the way. And there's a reason for that. It's just never quite been my alignment. Although now it would be, because I'm more flexible and open than I was back then. But back then I was like, oh my God, so dreary. But really it's just a wonderful background for creativity as well, if you see it that way. Anyways, we watched this movie. We were in a class. I don't know if we were like 25, 30 people. We had to partner up. We had to think of 3 limitations we gave the other person to create a piece of work with. Any kind of work. And I remember one of the limitations I gave, I was like, you got to use finger paint, whichever way you want, and you got to have fun in the process. And I forgot the third one. And the crazy, and for me, it's so easy. Like, okay, you got to have fun. Like, oh, finger paints. All right. Put out paper. I'll start exploring with my fingers. I'll, on the page and the paint. I'll get creative, see where the fun flowing through me takes me in the process. That's what I had in mind, right? For you, it's also easy because we come from a similar background. So you're like, okay, I have to have fun. This is the assignment. Okay, well, there's a million things I can think of. Not at this school. And then what happened was everyone in the class, first, everyone shared what they did, or was able to share. And then my partner was like, yeah, I have to have fun. And first of all, I hate finger paints. And second of all, if someone tells me to have fun, I can't have fun. And I'm like, okay, well, we can talk about this, but no. The teacher agreed. The whole class went against me. No, if someone tells you to have fun, you cannot have fun. And it was such a thing. It was just wow. For this entire group of people, it was an impossible matter. And I thought, where am I? So I didn't finish this education. I made it to the final year. I quit halfway through the final year. So I never graduated from that. But I probably could have quit a lot earlier and saved myself a lot of
pain.
And just lack of direction.
Yeah.
But I didn't know then what I know now, and I wouldn't be where I am now without what happened then. So
you're not up for a life without fun.
I'm not up for it. No. And especially I think to have fun, you need to be okay with looking like a fool, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah. And true, there's times where it's maybe harder to have fun.
Yeah.
And especially maybe if someone tells you to have fun now.
Yep.
There's always a way to try.
Maybe we can inspire with this, because I think for us, there's always a way. Even when we're in deep grief, we find jokes. There's something in our ancestral. I think our Danish grandmothers, one of the last things she said was a joke about death before dying. That's my memory of it, at least. And one of the only things our aunt, when she was a lot older, could laugh about were jokes about death. So we have something in our family that, like some wisdom that maybe we're able to transmit a bit here. Anyone listening, because I mean, we can all transmit our greatest gifts to one another. I think that's one of the best ways to learn is through transmission. So this is something I feel we really, have learned to do now in life and actively from both of our parents, but also carry as ancestral gifts and wisdom. Yeah.
So what are your tips?
Well, one is to visualize yourself doing something that you find wildly fun, but are scared to do because you feel it'll make you look stupid. So visualize that happening. Imagine some of the worst that can happen, and like let it be harmless. Okay.
Do you have an example? Because for some people, this will be incredibly hard. They'll be like, some people don't know what fun is.
Start easy. Here's an example. First of all, start easy. Don't traumatize yourself. Like, keep it light and easy. One example is, I personally feel my life would be a lot more fun if I was not self-conscious in a way that stops me from dancing and singing with wild abandon in public when I'm walking down the street. And so I haven't gotten to the singing bit yet because there's a bigger wound there. I was just always hearing I'm a terrible singer, which F that. But I've already started working on that by recording myself singing and listening to it and realizing, oh, it's actually quite nice, especially that I found a voice over time. But I've managed to do it with dancing, just like walking and dancing when I'm listening to music and at the stoplight. And so I first imagined, what's the worst that can happen? People look at me. But honestly, the greatest stressor is me thinking people are looking at me being aware of people potentially looking at me. Yeah. What I don't do in my mind is imagine that they might feel happy. They might laugh. They might take that piece of joy that I'm actively spreading into their day. There's only really, I live in Amsterdam right now, and it's a safe city. A lot of places in the world are safe to just dance and jig a little bit while you're listening to music. Nothing terrible can happen if you're in broad daylight, in a busy street, and you're like, woo. So visualizing that, and then being okay with also getting an odd stare in your mind's eye, and then actually doing it. Maybe it's first a little head bob, and then maybe an arm comes in the next time you're doing it. And then maybe it becomes like a full body movement. And so this is one example of how you can expand through being self-conscious, insecure, uncertain, just bit by bit to bring in more fun into your life. Is that a good example?
It's a great example. And something cool. That I have Jeannie, she's my black big poodle, and she's the cutest. And I've had less fun in the past, but now I'm just outside and I end up talking to her, or I don't know, doing weird stuff or doing weird movements. And then sometimes I catch myself, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this weird stuff out in public, but it does bring me joy and it makes me happy. Just, being my weird self. And I think it's just taken some time to get there.
Yeah.
Or also singing in the car. Man, I sing in the car, and I know the car isn't airtight. People can probably hear. And sometimes I'll be at the stoplight and just stop where I know people might be looking if I'm really jamming it out. But you start small and then.
Well, and here's a flip of the mind that you can do that I've started doing, because I'll also do that in the car, which is flipping the switch. Instead of being like, oh, someone could see me, it's like, they need this. Everybody needs this. Like when I see someone jamming out in the car or dancing and feeling free, I like take it in as medicine. Yeah, I need this. And so doing it for everyone as a gift that you are offering, and a performance. I don't know if I think you've been on stage a bit. I've been on stage quite a lot, and it gives me a lot to know there's an audience. But oddly, I've had a hard time turning the world into, the stage. I think this is new to me right now. I never made that connection before now. Like that this is my audience. Like I'm just going to go. And because you're doing it, people want to be there, right? In the presence of it. Sure, someone might have a bad day or find it offensive or whatever, but it's like a gift to the world.
Well, yeah, I agree. But I quickly want to dive into giving yourself permission to have fun, because I think that's something, especially when things are hard or friends are going through a hard time or the world is in despair or whatever, then it's hard to allow yourself to have fun.
I have something for that.
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
You ready?
Asking for a friend.
So permission for fun. So we can say having fun is an inherently human quality. And we see it across the mammalian world in general, like playfulness and joy and messing around and doing something with no purpose that we can readily perceive, like cause and effect. It's not building anything. It's not brushing your teeth, like getting your teeth clean. It's not purposeful, productive, helping the economy grow. But, and I'm sure scientists will catch up on this much more, is that there's already findings that that sound and frequency, like and the bass, activate the mycelial network, which is more of a term. So it's that fungal network in the earth, that one of the things it does is help everything grow and thrive. So when you're having, there's like early studies on this now, like if there's a big rave, big party with loud thumping music and feet thumping, for all intents and purposes, you can say it's frivolous fun with no real purpose. And of course, that's a whole other topic, like, release, nervous system reset, somatic healing, blah, blah, blah. But like no real purpose in the world to help things, grow and produce. But now there's, like evidence beginning to show that might not be the case. And so if we're into saying that, everything has purpose, everything is important, some call it God's plan, some call it trusting mystery, then fun is essential to help things grow. Fun is essential for us to be in creative flow, to be motivated, to want to do things. And there's fear-based motivation, but over time it's like it just is not, it's not as beneficial, not as good as like in having people who inherently desire and want to do things. And fun is really vital for that. Hence, well, that's why we have Fasching also. This was actually one time.
That's why we have
Fasching, Carnival.
Okay, Carnival.
Yeah. So back in the day when in Europe, when the laws were, we were ruled by kings and queens, and there was less freedom in some ways, and less vertical mobility, which unfortunately I think we're moving towards now again. But they knew that there had to be an outlet because life was really hard, Middle Ages, Renaissance. And so they say one of the reasons that Carnival existed and that in those times, some of the laws were lax. Like you weren't allowed to, for example, gamble or play cards in some places, things like that, or, cross-dress. And during Carnival, all these rules went away. So you were, for that week, like all the people could gamble, get wasted, run around, I don't know, like public debauchery, basically. And it was an outlet event to keep order for the rest of the year. So there are always important purposes. So if you're feeling very tense or stressed, a night, a week of fun might be the very thing to find. And it can be in small ways, like we just said, commuting and finding really cool music while you're commuting, or I don't know, reading what is like some of the most frivolous fun, like a romance novel written for, I don't know, teenagers or whatever, like something silly, something where you feel, oh my God, I'm
find
gonna look a fool.
Ooh, or find those basic video, like if you're being super uninventive, you can go on YouTube and find those there's some fun videos, either fun
Laughing
animal,
babies.
or pets doing funky things, or
like really purposefully silly. That's a good one.
Or playing dress up. I have one more question, and then we're gonna kind of close this up. Is how can you get someone else who is maybe not in the mood to have fun with you? I think step one is to kind of bring the fun yourself, but some people can be very resistant to fun.
Yes. Yes. So one, we can't force.
Bless you.
We can't, of course, force anyone. So if someone's like, I'm not having fun, no effing way. Live and let live. But there are ways, of course, to make people smile. Like I find if you see someone cranky on the street, it doesn't always work, but it works often enough. And you give them a completely innocent, like, smile, like just the pure joy of life. I do that. I have that in me. They might first be like, but then they can't help but smile. Like it comes back. I find that as a way. Another way is just like looks, little invitation looks, and peaks, like little playfulness, fun conversations. So if you're sitting next to someone at a table, laughing, about simple things. What else?
Memorize a joke that you think is hilarious, because laughing is contagious.
Okay, so our uncle actually has the ultimate secret, because he tells stories and jokes at a table that he finds so hilarious. Nobody really knows what he's on about or talking about, but he gets so caught up in his story that he personally finds so hilarious he can't stop laughing. This is a quality I want to train myself in, to be honest. It's to just be so into my own story that I can't stop laughing. And what happens is, and he speaks Danish, his English is not very good. And our dad does not speak Danish. Our partners don't speak Danish, but they're at the table. They have no clue what he's talking about. Or
and
barely.
Everyone's in tears of
Everyone's in tears. Like nobody can stop laughing. Everyone's muscles are sore the next day. Everyone's crying from all the laughter. And it's amazing how that works. So really, if you want to get other people to have fun, the ultimate starting point is to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
If you know how to do that, getting yourself to laugh, and then giving yourself permission to do that with other people there. So allow yourself to be comfortable with looking like a fool. You can spread a lot of fun. Yeah. He's a musician.
Yeah. All right. Well, to finish this up, I think I would like to suggest a challenge, because April Fool's Day is right around the corner. And my challenge is go play a, please harmless, little April Fool's joke on something that doesn't hurt anyone.
A funny one. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. That's a good one. I want to add shamanic wisdom at the end.
Well, then it's the end now, so it's your turn.
Okay. So I learned this from Rake, who is a Greenlandic shaman, and she told the story. I hope I'm remembering this perfectly correctly, that when everything was coming into being, and the word for the web, the weird, is sila in Greenlandic. Mm-hmm. And that when, and I hope I remember this correctly, I'll double check it, but when sila left, all the birds were born.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Came into being.
Yeah.
Came into being. Yeah. So I always thinking about that when I see the birds flying around, and I feel like it does feel like laughter, you know? Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, go spread joy, go have fun. Try Pippa Luck's finger paint exercise and add a third challenge to it and see if you can find some fun. And thank you so much for being here, for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we hope to have you back on the podcast.
Yes. And remember to put your own well-being first. So if anything we said doesn't vibe with you, it doesn't match with where you're at right now, be gentle, be kind. We're here for it. So yes, much love to you all.
Bye-bye.